So I made this video about it was December, wasn't it? Yeah, because I remember the top 10 worst Beatles songs. It blew up, and I made a follow up video to that for the most underrated Beatles songs. And I realise now there are so many criminally underrated Beatles songs. So here we are, 15 more underrated Beatles songs. 15 Glass Onion. Now, Glass Onion, of course, it's like a what's the word melody sort of thing of different songs that they've made in the past. But personally, I do think it works, and it's a good song. It has a nice little rhythm to it, and I do believe it doesn't get enough attention. I think. Of course, I feel like there will be a lot of White Album songs in this because the White Album, of course, it's one of the most overrated albums I think, but it does have a lot of solid tunes. But anyway, yeah, Glass Onion, it's a solid song, and I think it is just really underrated. 14, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. Now, personally, I think You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. It is in my top 10 Beatles songs of all time. Well, obviously between 1962 and 1970, including the three songs they made after they broke up. But I do feel that You've Got to Hide Your Love Away is very underrated, and I feel it's that way because A, of course, it's a really good song, and B, it's just overshadowed by the likes of Help, Yesterday, and Ticket to Ride, and also other tunes came out that time, like Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out. 1965, I think, of course, you had the Rubber Soul come out later that year, I think, as well. And all in all, it is just very criminally underrated. 13, Savoy Truffle. Fun fact about me, when I first listened to Savoy Truffle, I wasn't a big fan of it, but now it has really grown on me. And similar to Glass Onion, I do feel it is, of course, and also You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. It's of course, on a track. No, it's on an album with a lot of filler. Well, of course, that's not like You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, but similarly to Hide Your Love Away, it's overshadowed by the likes of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Happiness is a Warm Gun, Back in the USSR. But yeah, again, a very criminally underrated song, and it's really grown on me. 12, Sergeant Pepper's Reprise. So this is one of those songs where you're a bit on the balance whether this should be on the list, but I do love the guitar rhythm and the drum solo at the start. And one thing I absolutely love about this song is, like, at the end you can hear like the start of A Day in the Life if you're listening to this like as a solo or on Spotify on shuffle. Yeah, you can hear that, and I think that is absolutely cool. And of course, it follows the abomination that is Good Morning, Good Morning. So it really, of course, gives the album Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band a solid finish into, in my eyes, the second best end track to an album by the band, of course. 11, Love You Too. Hey, look, another George Harrison song. Did I not put this on the last one? I'm not sure, but let's talk about it. It's, of course, very Indian style, and of course, it's on the best album of all time, Revolver. I do believe this is a solid song, and I think people hate it is because it's not rock and roll enough. But there, of course, there's another song in that album that mixes indie music and rock and roll, and I believe that is the best end track to an album of all time. But yeah, about the song, I believe it's after the intro, it starts very slow, but when you get like past that intro, it's an absolute slapper, and it's a really good song. And again, overshadowed by the likes of Eleanor Rigby, Taxman, I'm Only Sleeping, blah blah blah. It's an incredible album, and I'd say it's probably one of the most underrated songs, if not the most underrated song on Revolver. 10, Flying. Again, another one of those songs where it's like, should this really be on here? But again, I'm going to count it. But yeah, Flying, it's an instrumental, of course, but again, it's about the rhythm with this one. And the rhythm, it's really good, and I love the brass instruments. And I remember seeing one comment on it saying, this is what you'd expect in a UFO, like, what's the word, like, lobby, is it called? I don't know, but again, it's a really neat little instrumental, and of course, he got that little la 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 la, like, towards the end, I think it is. But again, it's not really known, and I think it's underrated mainly because of it being an instrumental, of course. 9. Tell Me What You See. And now another song from Help, and similarly to Hide Your Love Away, it's just very overshadowed by, of course, the big numbers. And I do think this one's got a good rhythm. I do believe John's got really good vocals on this one, and all in all, it's a very solid song, a very decent song by the band, and I do believe it deserves more attention, similar to other songs, of course. A lot of the songs I have put on here, of course, more later songs, and with this one being earlier, no one really knows about it, do they? 8. Rain. People often call this Ringo Starr's best drumming performance. Personally, I do not agree, but it is a very good drumming performance, and I believe, of course, this is a very underrated song. It's got good lyrics, it's got good harmonies, it's got good vocals, good rhythm, and I feel this is very underrated, and it's because it's a B-side to a Paperback Writer, which, in my opinion, is another top 10 Beatles song. It's very similar, I think. They're just very similar songs, and of course, while Paperback Writer is, of course, the superior song, it does not stop Rain from being a very decent song. 7. Mother Nature's Son. Now, Mother Nature's Son, it's a beautiful song, I think. Of course, similarly to Glass Onion and Savoy Truffle, White Album, full of filler, and I believe it's either this one or what's the other one? I Will. People call it Yesterday's Distant Cousin. And I agree, it's a very melodic song, and they're both, well, yeah, I Will and Mother Nature's Son, they're both very melodic, and, of course, guitar solo, and very beautiful songs, and with the White Album being full of filler, people seem to, like, think, oh, this is also filler, and this is just nonsense, but nah, this is actually, like, I personally think this is one of the White Album's better songs, I think, and I might go top 10, I'm not sure. On my album, there's like 30 songs, and a lot of them are filler, of course. But again, Mother Nature's Son, it's a beautiful song, very melodic, very good Paul vocals, and just all around a very beautiful song. 6. This Boy. Now, I believe this song was it was thought up by either me or another comment, but This Boy, I believe, with it being a single, and I'm not sure if it's a B-side or not, but it's a decent song, and of course there is a really funny blooper by the band. You can check it out, watch Beatles Bloops by Here They Are, I think it's called, the channel, and again, very decent song, very decent harmonies, and again, like all the songs in this list, very decent song. 5. Old Brown Shoe. Another George song. Who knew? Again, this was brought up in the comment section for the last video. I do believe, and I do see why it's on Blue Album. And at first, I wasn't sure why it was on the Blue Album, because it's probably, in my eyes, this or the next song that's coming up. I believe they are probably the most forgotten about Beatles songs, because with them, I believe they're both B-sides, but yeah, I do believe Old Brown Shoe, it's very, like, I believe it was at that time when the band stopped being psychedelic and started going back to more rock and roll sort of music, back to their old roots, but of course, miles better than from what they started out, of course, and I do believe this song really fits the bill, and again, really good melodic, well, not melodic, but it's got a good rhythm, and it's a really decent song. 4. The Inner Light. Now, The Inner Light, I do really like this song. Of course, very Indian song, and personally, I do think though the Indian songs, like, say, Within You, Without You, Love You Too, and Tomorrow Never Knows, they are they're really good songs, and I really like that sort of style of music. And I feel like, again, similar to Old Brown Shoe, it's a very forgotten about Beatles song, and I believe it's a very decent song. And again, of course, another George Harrison song. That bloke cooked when it came to writing songs. 3, I Need You. Well, what a surprise, another George Harrison song. I Need You, and again, it's on Help, so overpowered by the other big songs. And I do believe this song, it's a really good song. I believe after like the big songs, this comes next, I think. Like, you have Yesterday, Help, Ticket to Ride, and then they're like the big three. And then I think you have this song, I think. This All You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. But again, very underrated, very overpowered by the other songs. And all in all, it's a really good song. Very, I believe Help is probably the best album, of course. I don't know. Yeah, Help is probably the best album before Rubber Soul. So, again, there are a lot of underrated songs in Help. 2, I'll Follow the Sun. Now, I did mention this in my Beatles for Sale ranking, and I do believe that I'll Follow the Sun is very underrated. It's a very beautiful song. I believe I put it either second or third. I think I put it third behind 8 Days a Week. But again, I think the only thing stopping it from being a real like big hit was its length. It's way too short, I think, and if it was longer, I believe it would get the recognition it really deserves, because it's a really good song, and it's just way too short. And I do believe it should be longer. So I forgot to record this bit, and I'm sorry that I sound sick. That's because I am. My honourable mentions, they are both Free as a Bird and Real Love, both anthology tracks. I believe they're both really cool songs, 2 good listens, and the main reason I think they're on here are the music videos. So I'm not going to say much about the music videos because I don't want to spoil it for you, so you can go check them out yourselves. They are both really cool music videos. 1, Things We Said Today. Now, Things We Said Today, it's a really good song, and of course, with it being on the B-side to A Hard Day's Night, which I believe is the side with the songs that were not in the film. It's not a well-known song, but I believe it should, because it is just such a really good song, and it's very, of course, again, overpowered by the main, like, A-side songs, and like, a lot of the B-side songs are just sat there and no one really talks about them, because A-side, they're in the film. But B-side, I think this is the best song on the B-side, and I would say it's probably the best song after the the opening track, A Hard Day's Night. That's probably others as well, but again, it's just a really decent song. This, then again, yeah, that's probably it for this video, guys. I think don't think this will be too long of a video, but if you did enjoy this video, please do subscribe. This is probably the most unneeded video by me, but it's mainly filler. But I will get to ranking Beatles albums again very soon, hopefully. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. Do like, subscribe, comment your most underrated Beatles songs, and I will see you later. Take care.